Hello everybody, welcome back, good morning. Let's get stuck into some of these charts nice and early here. Nice and early. Right, so the early bird catches the worm on Ethereum, I think, here, because what we've seen overnight is a retest of a golden cross, a fresh golden cross. We've had exponentials crossed on this for ages. That's a simple moving average cross. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold as well. Maybe it's something worse, but I've got it. So when you get these golden crosses, they often get retested. Here's what happened on the last time we got an exponential golden cross, and the last time we got a simple moving average golden cross. It was 2,500. Now this isn't a signal in itself. I'm not saying buy now, buy now. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, look, we got one and we retested the 50. You may see a retest of the 200, which is down at 4,452 and 20 cents. It is a bit of a downwards slope on this 200 simple. I'd rather it turn up, but so long as we're above this level, you're likely going to get it. Now, the itchy cloud has nothing on it, really. You're still green, so the leading portion of the cloud is green. That's a good sign of health. It's not an indicator in itself, it's a good sign of strength, especially if we stay above it, which basically means that over the next, day or two, you are looking to rise back up to 4,600 or so by Thursday, basically. Excuse me, I know that's not a nice sound. That's kind of what you're looking for. You're also hoping for another fresh cross to the upside of the conversion baseline. This is only a 4 hourly, by the way, so it's just like, this setup right now, if it materializes, should all be back up to, close to the previous all-time high, by the end of the week, by Thursday, Friday, really. So you got the golden cross really, and you're looking to surf the upper portion of the band there. And moving over to the daily, you're above all moving averages. Don't forget that. That's something that's probably going to be slipping through the net when everybody sees the price action go down. It's all over. But we're above all moving averages with golden crosses on 4 hourlies. Oh, so short term's bullish and the daily's bullish as well. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so now you're looking at the weekly, which is also bullish. Holding on to the 7 simple. Now, the problem with this obviously is that, quite hot with bearish divergence, which led to this one particular peak. So since then, we've made a lower high. But again, let's focus on what we see. Leading portion of the cloud green, above all moving averages, supports on the way down. If we lose the 7 simple, which we might, it's usually quite a weak thing. But if we do lose it, 4,155, and then a full-on super retest down here would be amazing, and I would actually buy more, even though, the last time I bought Ethereum was at 3,000, and that was particularly high, really, because most of my Ethereums, almost all of them were bought around $160, so, for me to buy at 3,000 is... Yeah, you tend to have a word with yourself, like that. What am I doing? What am I doing? So, but yeah, I would try that. I would definitely try that, and obviously longs. I think this is the period of the market for me, anyway, that is more attractive to futures derivatives because, I've got spot from much lower, so I don't fancy generally buying higher, especially this high. So. Futures is easier, because you can get stopped out. Like I took a position on Crow just on Sunday night. Stopped the hell out just as well because it dumped like a super beast. I suppose it's not that bad when you look at it like that, but it was a dump all the same. Losing the horizontal. But now looking at it now, actually, we've come down to a golden cross once again. And this is the first time a golden cross has been retested since the last move up, which is when we were all the way down here at 14.5 cents. So kind of looking for a V-shaped recovery here. I tried this position, stopped out. Just as well, isn't it? Because now I can try this position today. Let's see where we go with that. So, the market is not clearly ripe with opportunity, and the only reason to say that is because we've got the Fed likely to, they are going to sort of lower rates, but are they going to lower it by enough? Are they just going to do a little baby lower? We're talking rate cuts tomorrow at 7. which is an hour before the live stream, which will be an interesting one. So feel free to join the Patreon. We'll be doing the live stream tomorrow night, and we will be watching the repercussions of that Fed cut. You know, that's what we will be watching, as well as trying to work out where the market's going to go in amongst the volatility, which is always very difficult. But we will try. We will try. I think there's a lot riding on this particular event, but it's not a death sentence if it's only a 25 basis point. If it is a 25, I would expect the market to come down. But let's put it into context. You know, come down to what? So the S&P, how are you going to react? So come down to what? A Bollinger Band Center, perhaps 6%, give or take, maybe a 50 exponential, maybe 10.5%, perhaps all the way down to a 200 exponential. Yeah, 23, 24%. Maybe that's the case. Is that the case? Well, if it is the case, it's a buy the dip, isn't it? That's a buy the dip. That's a full, fresh reset that you'd be looking to take advantage of. That's what you'd be looking for. You know, and the same would apply to basically everybody else. You know, where are you going to be buying this if you were to see it? A 50 exponential, 97,000. I'm not saying that they're going to dump straight down into that as if we just get a 25 basis point. That's not what I'm saying. But if we were to do it within the context of this chart currently, it would be a buy the dip, or at least an attempted long position from any one of these major moving averages. You know, 110,000. You know, 109. You know, 97, and obviously, you know, if we see much lower than that, then fine. But I don't know. I don't know. I think on the last stream I was asked, you know, what do I think the Fed are going to do? But just because I can read charts to an extent, you know, if you regular watchers, subscribers of me, I generally get the big swings right, and obviously I make enough money to have this as my living. But I'm not right all the time. My God, I don't know anybody who is. And if they are, well, you know, fair play to them. But I don't think anyone is right all the time. The idea is that you are right enough to make money. Obviously, because I make these videos on YouTube, obviously you put your opinions out there, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. The market will always find a way to sort of get around your ego and kick you in the nuts sometimes, and that has happened to me recently a few times. The market's getting a little trickier. So anyway, if there is somebody who's always right, let me know, because obviously they deserve subscribers if they get it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not here to say I know what the hell's going on with the economy. I can only assume they're going to do a 50 basis point rate cut, because the market looks as though it has tried to price that in, and that's the problem, I think, because if that isn't the case and the market has priced in, you know, something else, then the market will correct us in response to that. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Feel free to join the Patreon and click on as many links as you like, because I've got quite a lot, as you can see down below. Right, thank you. Take it easy.